Hello everybody, this is Jonathan, and basically in this video I will show you guys basically how to use Nano in Haiku OS. Okay, I'm gonna get started now. This is my screensaver. I just enter my password now, and now I can unlock it, and now I'm basically back into Haiku system. So what I will do first is do pkg man, and then I can update. So all that will do is basically update the system. Now I can see there's any updates needed. And there is some updates that is indeed needed. So I'm gonna type down yes, and now for updates should start. So once the updates has been done, what you guys can do is do pkg man, and then we can do update, and that will just confirm if every package is up to date, and indeed it is up to date. And now you guys can do reboot, and all that would do is basically reboot the computer. I would go there, now go to shutdown, and now go to restart system, and now we can start restarting the system, and that should apply the new updates that our guys have done to the system. It shouldn't take long to load. It's always a very quick system. There's not much resources. Okay, so now we're back, and now I'm going to go back to the terminal. Then click onto applications, and there should be the terminal software. So I'm going to click onto terminal, and now our guys can do pkg man install Nano. So Nano will be the text editor that we'll be using in this tutorial, as it's very simple to use text editor. Now press onto the enter key, and that should start installing Nano. So once you have Nano installed, what the guys can do is basically list out all the directories. So do ls, and that will list out all the directories, all of the folders, all of the files, basically everything that we have on the system. Once I've done ls, what we can do now is go into college work. So I'm going to do cd, which will allow me to go into another folder. So now I can click, now I can just do add these two brackets because it is two words, and then I'm going to do college work, and that should basically allow me to go into the college work folder. Now press onto enter key, and now we're in the college work folder. And now if you guys want to see what's inside the college work folder, all you guys want to do is do ls, and that will display everything that's in the college work directory, because now we're in the college work directory. To go back, what guys want to do is do cd and then do ... and that should take you back. But I want to go back, so I'm going to do cd, and now I'm going to enter these two brackets because it's two words. If it's just one word, then you guys don't need to worry about that, but you guys can add it if there's two words to the directory. Okay, so once I've done cd college work, now we're going to enter into the folder, and now do ls, and now we'll list out the contents of the folder. Now if you guys want to make a new text document, all you guys basically need to do is do nano, and now we can start calling the file name. So for example, I'm going to call it google.txt. So that will basically allow us to create a new text file. Now press onto the enter key, and now we'll be able to start using Nano, just like we want to use. It is running 6.4 version of Nano. I don't know if it's the latest or if it's older, but it should basically work for the newer one anyway, the same way. Now if you basically want to start typing, all you guys need to do is just type on the keyboard. Simple as that. As you guys can see, it is simple as that. Okay, so I'm going to be writing down something completely random on my keyboard, or this gibberish, love letter to my girlfriend. So yeah, now that is my love letter to my girlfriend. Now I can say from Jonathan Stedman, because that's my name. And now what I can do is now do Control X, and that will basically allow me to save it. If I press onto Y, then that will allow you to save it. If I click onto no, then do not save it. Do Control C to cancel. For my case, I do want to save it, so I'm going to click onto yes. And now we can obviously change the file name from here. So if we want to call it, like for example, google1.txt, then you guys can indeed change the name. It should allow you to do it automatically. To confirm the file name to write, press onto the enter key, and now you can save file name under different name. If I save it as the same name, then it will not have to worry about that. It will just be saved. But if I change the name just like I did, press onto yes, and that should save the new name. And now if you guys want to go back to it, just do ls to list the offer contents, and now go to nano, and now do google1.txt, It doesn't have to be a TXT file. It could be Python file like py. It could be JavaScript file. It could be basically CSS file. It really depends what you're doing. But in my case, I'm just creating a text file to keep this tutorial simple. And now press on the Enter key, and that should basically allow you to start editing again. So you can obviously continue doing some stuff. And you can also do Control X, and that will allow you to save it. And now we have saved it. I'm going to go back to it just to show you guys some other thing that I want you guys to know about. So I'm going to name this one google1.txt, and now as you guys can see, there's other options. So there's write out, there's read file, there's where is, replace, there's cut, there's paste, there's justify, and just execute and justify. So execute is mostly for programming, but in this video I'm just going to go for basics. So basically, if you want to cut some text, all guys want you to do is double click onto some text that you want to get rid of, and then I'll do Control K, and that should basically get rid of that line. If you guys basically want to paste some text, then all guys can do is do Control U, and that should basically paste some text. I can also do it from here, as you guys can see. So that is basically some commands that you guys can do. It tells over here how to do it. So if you want to have some help, then press onto Control G. To exit, press onto Control X. To write out, to read file, I'm not going to go through these because I want you guys to experiment some features. But I hope that you guys found this video very useful with going through the basics of using Nano. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to ask for help. So just to basically load up a documentation. So we do Control G, and now that should basically show up some information such as how to use it, what each of the commands do, how to basically do stuff within the text editor. So it's just basically very simple documentation on how to use Nano. It's very useful, and I recommend you guys to read through it. And now I'm going to do Control X to close out of it. So yeah, this is basically a very simple text editor. As you guys can see, I'm going to do Control X, and I'm going to save it, and now that is done. So now I'm going to stop this video, and I hope that this video has helped you guys a lot with using a text editor in Nano. In the future, I will possibly teach you guys how to use Vim or VI. If you guys want me to do something like this, then say so down in the description. But I always have been using Nano, and the reason why I always have been using Nano is because I find it very easy to use, and sometimes I do struggle with using Vim or VI. It's like kind of complex. They're great if you want some additional features, but I tend to stick with Nano because it's kind of simple and fast to use in my honest opinion. And I like to do things fast. I'm an impatient type of person, so Nano allows me to do something really fast. I don't need these additional features. All I need is basic features which allow me to create some text documents or to change some configuration files, to change some config files basically, to change some stuff up. But basically I use a Nano all the time, and I highly recommend it for people that's bound into terminals and basically want to use a terminal. The terminal is a wonderful tool, in fact. It's being used all the time. But I hope that guys found this video very useful. If you did, please put a like, and also comment down below what you think of Nano. Anyway guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.